Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So Canelo Alvarez defeats Jermell Charlo by a 12-round unanimous decision to retain his super middleweight world titles. Undisputed titles. This fight, I said before this fight, I wasn't looking forward to it whatsoever. Didn't have a good feeling about this fight. I didn't feel it would live up to some people's expectations. And yeah, to me the writing was on the wall. I mean, I say fight. This wasn't even a fight. This was a sparring session. Jermell Charlo, to me at least, he looked like a tough sparring partner who's been around, who knows the circuit, but he's there to do a job. Those sort of guys who go in camp, who can do rounds, but ultimately they're not at risk of hurting the fighter who's running the training camp. That's how Jermell Charlo fought. Didn't try once in this fight against Canelo Alvarez. Again, he was just there to survive and go the distance. You know, Jermell Charlo after this fight said he dared to be great. Well, you know, daring to be great takes some effort, takes letting your nuts hang, and Jermell never did that once in this fight. Not once. And I always try to follow my intuition and gut instinct when it comes to boxing. You see how Jermell was in the build-up to this fight. Yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full sir. This guy was super respectful of Canelo throughout the build-up. And we know Jermell Charlo, he can get heated, he can get aggressive in pre-fight press conferences, things like that. There was none of that. He was just there to pick up his payday, making sure not to upset Canelo, and he fought like that. He fought like that. And again, when it comes to these fights, man, I always try to follow my gut instinct. Sometimes I ignore it, but sometimes most of the time I don't, but sometimes I do. But when it comes to Canelo, it's not even gut instinct now. It's just human pattern recognition, right? We all have the ability to do that. It's why we've survived for so long as a species. Just basic pattern recognition keeps us alive. And you know, how many times have we seen a Canelo fight where the opponent just doesn't really try? It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Canelo was just walking down Charlo throughout this fight. High guard. He actually looked pretty good in the first sort of 4 rounds. Canelo, quicker than I've seen him in his last few fights. But primarily, he was throwing single shots, the jab, overhand right. Left hook to the body, left hook to the head. You know, just following Charlo around, one shot at a time. Charlo was far too eager to just let his back touch the ropes, making himself stationary. Never really tried to utilize his height and reach. You know, he threw more jabs than Canelo, but I think Canelo landed more. The jab wasn't effective by Charlo whatsoever. It wasn't consistent. He wasn't constantly pumping it like he should have done. You know, didn't he watch the Bivol fight prior? Like as some sort of gauge on how to approach this fight? Obviously not. There was no straight right hand behind the jab. He just he never seemed bothered, or he never seemed willing to try to maintain range against Canelo. He was just giving away the real estate without Canelo having to earn it. Without Canelo having to earn it. There was no head movement from Canelo. It was a lazy guard and he was just walking straight in. Unbelievable, throwing single shots. Come on, man. This fight was absolutely pathetic. I'm sorry. Pathetic fight. Jermell Charlo just went in there for a payday. As The Rock said, he knew his role, and he laid down. That's what happened. I don't see how anybody, aside if you're emotionally invested and you're a fanboy, I don't see how any boxing fan can watch that fight and then feel, yeah, that was a normal occurrence. You know, nothing to see here. It's crazy. It's weird as well because I've noticed in the boxing scene on YouTube, there's a lot of people who like question government and things like that, certain things that have gone on in the last few years in the world. They'll question this, yeah, like real issues, but they can't seem to rack their brains around the fact that boxing may have some dirty elements to it, right? But according to these guys, nothing like that goes on in boxing. Well, listen, this fight is very suspect, as far as I'm concerned. Jermell Charlo didn't try, I know that much. Why he didn't try? Well, you guys tell me. But the energy before this fight from Jermell Charlo was off. Energy in the fight was off. Even after the fight, the energy was off. I wasn't myself in there, he said. What does that mean? Well, answers on a postcard, I guess. Who the fuck knows? Disappointing, dull, uninspiring. Another Canelo fight. Anyway, share your thoughts below. Beanie Guy Delboy. Peace.